From his wheelchair, Kevin Brooks shares a story with the student body of Johnny Ferguson about a night that changed his life forever. After driving at excessive speeds, after consuming large amounts of alcohol, Kevin had left a party with childhood friend Brenton. The consequences of his actions led to only one of them being able to walk away. What made you want to start sharing your story with others and giving out these presentations?
I knew I had a story. I felt like after everything that happened, I should do something with it because it was so tragic. Just try to honor Brendan and his family. And I just remember being like grocery shopping one day of all places, and three little younger dudes like come up in skateboards and just being like, "No, how come you're in a wheelchair?" And I remember just sharing like a little piece of the story with them, and I could just see how it like rattled them, and thinking like those kids would probably never drink and drive, and just realized there was, it made an impact, right?
Where did the phrase "just wiggle your toes" come from?
Just Wiggle Your Toes came out one day during a presentation, and I noticed that the audience wiggled their toes. And I called them on it, and they awkwardly laughed. And I was like, cool. And then I talked to a friend that was there after, and he's like, I think you really got some with that, just wiggle your toes. So I said it again the next presentation. I noticed every time people would look down and they'd wiggle their toes. And it became like my slogan, whatever you want to call it, my catchphrase, my mantra. And then people started getting it tattooed, which really took things to the next level, that it was obviously really hitting people. Now, for me, ironically, and I crack some jokes, I think it's kind of funny. I got Just Wiggle Your Toes in my hands. I can't even wiggle my toes, but it's my catchphrase,
Tell us a little bit more about your book and the impact that you want to create with it.
It comes out maybe by the spring. And basically, it's the story of what happened, and it's a lot of the story of how it's impacted people. And I'm just really excited that it's going to have like students talking about how it affected them. We hope students who've seen this talk will pick it up and read it. We are going to be donating a portion of the sales to charities. We haven't quite figured them out yet. And what would be really cool, we're hoping, is maybe it would become like a mandatory reading maybe in some school districts, and I think it's just something to further spread this message to a wider audience.
The student body walks away from this presentation with a great lesson learned. Students remember that it is extremely important to take the necessary precautions if ever under the influence, especially as the holiday season approaches. This is Melissa Souza reporting for FBN News.